Ocho, so now let's get back. The Lions offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, has agreed to a deal to become the Chicago Bears' next head coach. Johnson has been the Lions offensive coordinator for the past 3 seasons. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they finished in the top 5 in offense each of those seasons. He will fill the job vacated by Matt Eberflus when they fired him on November 29th. Johnson will become the 19th head coach in the 105-year franchise existence. Ocho, do you like the hire?
You goddamn right I like the hire. You goddamn right. Now, listen, we talk about Ben Johnson now. We talk about Ben Johnson that worked wonders with Jared Goff, worked wonders offensively with that offense. The creativity that has amazed all of us all season long. Now, we know Dan Campbell loves to go for it on 4th down. Why do you think he's so confident in doing some of the things he does as a head coach? Because of Ben Johnson and what he's able to do. So I look at it from this standpoint. You got Jameson Williams, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got Laporta. Now you go to another supporting cast in Chicago that different skill sets, but they get the job done very well.
Right.
You have a great quarterback, dual threat quarterback, who's a little bit more mobile, a little bit more agile, can play off script, a little better than Goff, and Caleb Williams. He's a good thrower of the ball as well. This is going to be a perfect relationship, not only for Ben Johnson, but for Caleb Williams in his career. I guarantee you, and I'm going to put it out there right now, and it's going to be an I told you so moment when the season starts, and we in about maybe week 7 or week 8, and I'll be like, I told you so. Caleb Williams being one of the top quarterbacks in the league statistically because of Ben Johnson and his creativity and his offensive prowess. Watch.
I like the hire.
Yeah.
I like the hire also.
Yeah.
But what I don't like, Chicago and New England doing that fake stuff. Bring black coaches in there when they know damn well they're not going to hire them.
Yeah.
They brought Eddie George in there. And, look, if you got to take it.
Yeah.
You know damn well they want, excuse me, but you know good and D well. you know good and D well you wanted Ben Johnson.
Right.
But, Ocho, hey, the Rooney Rule, I got to get that quota.
Yeah, you got
same thing in New England. New England, y'all brought 2 black. Y'all brought Pep Hamilton in. Y'all brought this other black. You know good and well.
Yeah.
Byron Leftwich. Y'all know good. First of all, Byron Leftwich been out of the league for what, 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all gonna bring him in. Now, he ain't got no offensive coordinator, but y'all brought him in.
Yeah.
And see, what y'all did, the Patriots did that thing so good, they brought 2 of them in. They brought 2. Ocho brought 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they have to check the boxes. They gotta check the boxes. Like you said, you gotta meet the quota. You have to satisfy the rule that's in place that's really not working.
Ain't got no teeth to it. But look, I like the hire. I like Ben Johnson. I like what he did. You mentioned it. He has a quarterback that's more mobile. He has very good look. You got Rome Odunze they took in the first round for the Bears. You got DJ Moore that you signed to a contract extension. You got Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen's a free agent, so you probably bring him back because he came on strong at the end of the year.
Yeah.
He's that guy that he's not as fast, is not as quick as Amon-Ra in the slot, but he gets it done. He got tremendous moves. He got great hands. I like him. He's a big body. He can body you up. So I like that. I like that. I don't really know their running back situation. You're going to have to improve the offensive line.
DeAndre Swift.
Because that's one thing. DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
Offensive line, and you're going to probably get better because if you look at what they got in Detroit,
right.
You got Penei Sewell, who's a Pro Bowler, All-Pro. You got Zeitler, you got you got Glasnow, you got Decker, you got Ragnar. You got, Detroit has a very good offensive line. And so you're going to have to get that up to par in Chicago because your quarterback took 60-plus sacks. That's too many, Ocho. That's way too many sacks. Now, all of it is not on the offensive line. Caleb Williams going to have to do a better job of getting rid of the football. It's okay to throw it away. Because sometimes I think guys, they get caught up, Ocho, well, I'm going to mess up my completion percentage. Bro, throw that damn ball away. You don't want to be taking all those hits.
Right.
But I like the hire. I'm sure they got money in cap space that they can improve this team. I love the hire by Ben Johnson. I got no qualms about that hire. He's put his time in as an offensive coordinator, as an offensive coach. I think it was right. It was the right time for him to get this job. So I really like the hire. I'm a little surprised that he went in the same division as his former boss. Normally they get away, Ocho.
Right.
But hey, that was the best situation. I always thought that the Bears for me, that was the best situation that was available to me. Now, I mean, other people like the Raiders, because Tom Brady ain't playing quarterback.
Ain't nothing to work with over there, huh?
No,
over there.
He ain't got no quarterback.
Yeah,
No.
so you understood that was the best fit, especially for him and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I thought that was the best. I thought that the Jets, you got the Jets situation. You got a lot of tough stuff going on with the Jets. What other job is available, Ocho? The Jets was available.
The Saints.
The Saints. Hopefully, AG get the Saints or the Jets. I think he obviously AG played with the Jets. Hell, he played with the Saints also. He was on the defensive staff. He was on Sean Payton's staff when he was at the Saints. So, but hopefully he gets one of these jobs. But it's going to be tough without a quarterback. You got to find a quarterback, Ocho. Without that, you don't really have a chance to have longevity.
Your leash is going to be short. The leash is very short if you ain't got no quarterback.
Well, our leash is short anyway. But anyway, that's not what's there. We'll talk about that another day. But I like the hire. I like Ben Johnson hire. Chicago should be good. That's a very tough division, Ocho. You got young. We'll see what Minnesota does with Sam Darnold.
Right.
Do they move on, or do they elevate JJ McCarthy? Going to be very interesting because you got Jordan Love, you got Goff, you got Caleb Williams. So I like it. Many scouts believe the Browns will take Travis Hunter, number 2 overall, and focus on a quarterback later in the draft. A multitude of NFL scouts are reportedly of the belief that there is no way Shedeur Sanders would play for the Browns, even if the Browns were interested in picking him. There's reportedly thought among scouting circles that if Hunter were to go to Cleveland, he would have a Jim Brown-type impact on the franchise. Browns hold 33rd and 67th overall pick, which would possibly give them a potential to select Jackson Dart, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Monroe, or Kyle McCord. This is going to be a franchise-changing draft for the Browns.
I like it.
What you thinking, Ocho?
Their identity anyway is defense. Is their defense, honestly, until you get a quarterback at the helm that can change the franchise right around, like Jayden Daniels has done, like a C.J. Stroud has done. But can you imagine Denzel Ward and goddamn Travis Hunter?
I don't care if you got Denzel Ward. I don't care if you got Prime Time. I don't care if you got Mel Blunt. I don't care if you got Reeves. If you cannot score, you cannot win in this league, Ocho.
You got to build a foundation somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And it's been how long since they've had a quarterback?
Otto Graham. Nah. I mean, they had some good years with Bernie.
Yeah.
Bernie. They had the cardiac Browns with what's the guy named Brian Sipe. If I'm not mistaken, I think in the 1980 Sipe was an MVP. But they had some situations. I think it was Bernie that they went to the AFC Championship games and they ended up losing to the Broncos. They lost twice to Broncos in the AFC Championship game. But it's been a while. That's been 30 plus years ago. Hell, that was before I got there. They lost. As a matter of fact, they lost to the Browns the year before I got there. So that was 89. I got to the Broncos in 90. So hell, that was 35, 36, 37 years ago.
Putting asses in, excuse me. Talk about putting butts in seats.
They had Baker. I mean, the Baker, look, they had Baker, and Baker had a couple of good years, but they didn't have the talent around him. He got hurt. And like I said, Baker needed to move on. They didn't like, and you have to accept Baker for who he is. He's cocky. He believes in his ability. I got no problem with that. They like, well, we want an adult in the building.
Right.
But Baker is where he should be, in Tampa, playing unbelievable football. For a team that believes in him, players that believe in him. Ocho, the Bills get their revenge. The Bills defeated the Ravens 27-25 in a dramatic finish in Buffalo, advancing to the AFC Championship game for the first time since 2021. Heartbreaking loss for the Ravens. The Bills will head to Kansas City for a rematch. Remember, Kansas City went to Buffalo. I think they lost by double digits. Now, the regular season doesn't matter, as Buffalo proved. They lost really big, really bad to Who was that? The Ravens earlier this year, Derrick Henry ran wild, but Buffalo gets their revenge, and now they turned around and head back to Kansas City. Buffalo is the only team to beat Kansas City starters during the regular season, in the entire regular season in 2024. Remember, Ocho, they sought their starters the last game. But at the end of the day, this game came down to turnovers and missed opportunities. The Ravens are going to kick themselves. They turned the ball over. Lamar had 2 bad turnovers early in the ball game. And then this is a game that Mark Andrews is going to want to forget. He had a couple of drops, Ocho. He had a costly fumble. And then the two-point conversion. You know, in a situation like that, Ocho, when the weather's bad like that, if you bobble it, it's over. You're not going to catch it again because the ball's too slick. And you got no footing. And so once he bobbled it, you know it was like, well, this is it. This is the opportunity. But when you look at this game, and it's another disappointing season, and we can't place all of this at the feet of Lamar. I didn't think he played well early. I thought they got away from the running game too soon, Ocho. Because if you look at when they came out of the locker room in the third quarter, and they got the ball, what they do, Ocho? Boom,
went
boom,
right
boom,
down,
boom.
Went right down the field, running the ball, right down the field.
Go ahead.
Right down, running the field.
Yours.
They got the. Can you please explain to me, understanding how you won all season long, even with the turnovers that you did have? You had an opportunity. You had opportunity. There are moments in a football game. There are moments in a playoff game. There are one, two, maybe 3 plays, if that matter, out of all the plays that you run in the game. And those moments, those plays that actually mattered, they didn't capitalize on those opportunities despite the turnovers that you had. Despite the turnovers. Like, listen, I'm not one to blame the game on one person. I would never do that. The turnovers hurt from Lamar. One of them didn't count because it was still tight. It was still tied up. And even though they did go down and score on that turnover, you still had an opportunity to tie the game back up.
Right.
The second one, the fumble. Now that's costly. That's costly. Andrews.
You have to live with that, though, Ocho, because we've seen him bobble the snap. We saw him against your Bengals. He bobbled the snap and throw a touchdown to Likely. So you're going to have to live with him, because I know a lot of people say, Lamar, just fall on it, live to see another day. But what makes him Lamar Jackson is his ability to turn a disaster into something dynamic.
Tonight just wasn't it. I feel bad for Mark Andrews, because it was right there. It was right there. All he had to do was be able to secure that catch. If anything, watch it. Was that his second or third drop?
That's his second. He had 2 drops and a fumble. Remember, they punched it out. He had a big gain, and the dude punched it out, and they go down. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they went down and got a field goal. So that's what pushed it to an 8-point game.
You got to make that catch on. By all means, you got to look that in. You got to stare at the laces on that ball and look it all the way. And if you got to go back to the basics, the basic fundamentals of catching the ball, you can't drop a ball in that scenario like that. You can't. Because it allows you, it gives your team another chance, a second chance.
Now you put it back on your defense. To stop them. Don't let them get in field goal range. Now, Josh, now maybe they're going to play a little free. So now Josh is going to probably do a little bit more running around because he has some freedom. So now he can rely on his legs. And I thought that's the thing that really helped Lamar and them. Like, Buffalo didn't want to give it the big play, but the one thing you got to do is you got to keep him in the pocket. You can't let him get outside the pocket. You let him get outside the pocket, so he started off, he's running. Now he gets outside of the pocket, he hits Likely. He gets outside the pocket, he hits Sims. He gets outside the pocket, he hit Andrews. You can't let him get outside the pocket. Make him beat you from the pocket. And I know it's a lot easier said than done, but you want to keep him in that box. And if he works his magic in the box, Ocho, you just have to live with that, because you can't take everything away. But I'm going to take away what I know you want to do, which is get outside the pocket and buy yourself time.
I mean, the first half, the Bills played really good.
They did.
Half, it looks like they bullied the Ravens on both sides of the ball. Even though when you look at it, now I know I'm not blind. And I know what I'm seeing. The Ravens defensively are first in almost every statistical category. But what I saw from the Bills in the first half, it didn't seem that way. Now, I don't know if the conditions played a part in that, and them being successful running the ball and moving it down with the intermediate game through the pass. I don't know if the conditions played any kind of part in that, but like it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does, because it's promising season.
I mean, let me tell you how I know it sucks, because I feel bad for Lamar for one, and it's how you know I feel bad, because I'm not even making fun of you. I'm not even making fun of you about your team losing and going home. Like, I'm not even making fun of you because honestly, as a Bengal, as much as I love my Bengals, I really thought and wanted, and I can say this, I really wanted Lamar to win this one because I know he's going to win MVP, and I wanted him to have success in the playoffs and go far, into the playoffs, so we can get that monkey off his back. So get that monkey off his back, and it just didn't happen. Obviously, the turnovers played a part in it, even though there were moments in the game where things could have shifted in their favor and given that team another chance and opportunity to win. It just didn't go their way, and that sucks.
And that's what it is, Ocho. Is that we look at Lamar and we've seen Lamar this season have games where he's damn near perfect. Well, he has a perfect quarterback passer rating, 158.3. You can't get any higher than that. And we've seen him have those games. For whatever reason, those games have come few and far between when it matters the most.
Yeah.
This is when it matters the most because there's finality to this. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. This great season, we got an all-pro quarterback that's probably going to win his third MVP in a 5-year span. We got an all-pro running back that rushed for damn near 2,000 yards. Now, Zay Flowers not being in there, that hurt, but they still got 2 of the best tight ends. I believe they got 2 top 10 tight ends. Nobody else can say that in the NFL. Right. They've got, Marlon Humphrey was the first-team all-pro at the slot. Hamilton made the Pro Bowl. I think they had a defensive line. Matabikwe made the Pro Bowl. They had another DN made the Pro Bowl. This is very disappointing. You look at the way they turned their season around, especially defensively, Ocho. They were really good offensively. They lost some games that you're like, y'all go and y'all beat this team, but y'all lose to the Raiders? How the hell y'all lose to the Raiders? I think they ended up losing, maybe ended some other team that wasn't very good. And you ask yourself, how the Ravens losing to these teams with Lamar and Derrick Henry and all these weapons that they have is that if you go back and study Lamar, and y'all can dress it up however you want to, Ocho, in the playoffs, look at how many games that he's actually played in the playoffs, and then look at how many multiple turnover games he's had in the playoffs. Now go back, juxtapose, rewind it, press play, look at the regular season, all of it starts, and look at how many multiple turnover games. Not nearly. So damn near every game, or 2/3 of the games that he's played in the playoffs, he's turning the ball over. When you turn the ball over, not only do you don't give yourself to still get play after play after play, you give them possession. So now they take you off the field because they're really not like a turnover defense, Ocho. They can occasionally, but they don't really like take the ball away like the old Ravens and put points on the board with it. But now all of a sudden, instead of 7, 8, 9, 10 plays where you could have something to hang your hat on, you only get 3 plays because you've turned the ball over.
Right.
And that's what is hurting Lamar. And I know he's like, man, here we go again. It has to. Don't let anybody tell you. I know you're gonna say that. Yes, it does. Because you know what happened last year? You had 2 turnovers. And you had 2 turnovers in the first half this year. So you're playing, all of a sudden, it's going through your mind, and everybody's thinking the same thing in Baltimore. Here we go again. Lamar, because think about it, Ocho, the man only had 4 interceptions the entire
season.
So he plays 18 games, 18 plus 1, he didn't turn the ball over against Pittsburgh. So he played 18 games with 4 interceptions. And then you come in here and have another interception. And then I think had another fumble. He just has to and I want him to get over this so bad because it's a very disappointing season. Because like I said, Ocho, you and I both believe he's about to be a 3-time league MVP.
And here it is another. He is. He's going to win it. He's going to win it because what he did during the regular season, you can't take it away from him. You can't because it was the special season. It was. He has to understand. And listen, I know Lamar already knows when you go into the postseason, and if you look at when you made it before and you've lost. The one thing from that is the turnovers. You make it that much difficult. You put your team behind the 8 ball. When you turn the ball over, and you say it all the time, Unc, you pay double for those.
You pay double.
You pay double for them, even though you had a chance to come back. Now everything else has to go well or damn near perfect to get yourself back in the game.
It is, and if you look at Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's not a third of the quarterback, but came playoff time.
Oh yeah.
Joe Flacco supposed to have been to 2 Super Bowls. He hit Lee Evans in the hand and had the Patriots beat, and he dropped it. And then we know he went on the road. He went on the road and beat Peyton in his house. He went on the road and beat Tom in his house. And he went and he won a Super Bowl. And he had Tom beat again in his house.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco played a buck. You would think, Joe, you like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How the hell you doing this in the playoff? And you don't look nothing like this in the regular season. They would call him Joe Flacco. That's Joe Montana.
Yeah.
It's just the opposite with Lamar. I don't know what it is, Ocho. I don't know if he's putting too much pressure. I don't know if it's a mental hurdle. But for the turnovers, you go back and look at his first playoff game against the Titans in the divisional round, he turned the ball over. He played, but remember, in the next year, he goes on the road to play Buffalo. He throws a 100-plus yard interception. He comes back last year. He had 2 interceptions. Zay Flowers interception was very turnover was costly because they was like at the 1 yard line. You would like to think, Ocho, well, he fumbled in the end zone. So you like to think, Ocho, they're gonna get points out of that, maybe a touchdown. And then Mark Andrews, they're driving again. He punches it out. The drop pass on the 2-point conversion. It's just tough because they're gonna put this at he dropped the ball. Mark Andrews didn't play a good game, but they're going to place this at the feet of Lamar because he's their best player. He's going to be the guy that's going to win the MVP, not Mark Andrews, not anybody else.
But listen, he won the MVP, right? Not only what he was able to do with his legs, but also his supporting cast.
Yes.
His supporting cast, and you need your supporting cast to show up for you all the time as much as you like to. Now, listen, the onus is on you as a quarterback, When you win, you get the praise. When you lose,
you get the blame.
They're gonna let you have it. But your supporting cast has to come in for you, especially in times like this. They have to, They have to.
If it was a situation where they're going back and forth, and all of a sudden somebody fumbled the ball, and Lamar had one of those days where he's like 5 touchdowns and he doesn't turn the ball over, but somebody else gets stripped, or somebody ball caroms off their hand.
Right.
You're like, hey, I don't know what else y'all want Lamar to do. The man had 5 touchdown passes. He didn't have a turnover.
Right.
That was the receiver got it pulled out. That was the running back that fumbled the ball. But these situations, Ocho, they had 3 turnovers tonight. That matched their total from the last 7 games.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And conditions, we can't make no excuses.
Yeah. Hell, the weather's bad in Baltimore. That makes you feel like, Ocho, the weather, wrong. Baltimore, what's the weather like in Baltimore? Cleveland, what's the weather like in Cleveland? Cincinnati, what's the weather like in Cincinnati? Pittsburgh, what's the weather like in Baltimore plays bad weather games. Newsflash, and they don't play in a dome.
Right.
If you didn't know better, we're going to talk about this game a little later. If I didn't tell you, if you didn't know the Rams was in L.A., you would think, hold on. How is Matthew Stafford throwing the ball like this? How are they doing what they do? They're not supposed to be able to do like this. It's sunny in California. They play in a dome. Arizona is in a dome.
Right. It sucks.
Lamar Jackson, Ocho, has played 8 playoff games. 8. He's had multiple turnovers in half of them.
Damn. From a playoff standpoint and the chances at Lombardi, right? What is the window of opportunity for the Ravens? While they have the team that they have right now, what do you think the window of opportunity for them is to actually get to a chip?
As long as they got Lamar, they still got a chance.
No matter what. You know what the funny thing? Even with the other teams getting better, even with other teams getting better in the AFC and the NFC, there will still not be another Lamar Jackson. It won't. So it always gives you that hope. It always gives you that chance in the back of your mind, even as a Ravens fan. For those that are you in the chat that are watching, you're always going to be in contention, because not only are other teams getting better, your owner, your GMs, your coaches have one job as well. Continue to put pieces around Lamar to make sure that you have a chance to get back to this point, to get back to an AFC championship at one point, to be able to play in a Super Bowl, and improve your team.
Can I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
How many times do you take the pretty girl out and you don't get nothing before you stop?
3.
Okay.
3.
Because that's what that's the pretty girl.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is that. I mean, 3-time league MVP, an all-pro. I mean, think about it. Lamar Jackson is the first quarterback to be a 3-time first team, a 3-time all-pro quarterback in his first 7. He's the first. Think about all the quarterbacks. Peyton, Tom, Aaron Rodgers, John Elway, Dan Marino. Name a quarterback. None.
Yeah.
Has done what Lamar Jackson has done. He's a 3-time first-team all-pro quarterback in his first 7 years.
That's crazy when you think about it. That's just how dynamic and special young boy.
Montana, Young, Brett Favre. Name a quarterback. All your great quarterbacks. The one that's what? Tom Brady. Tom Brady's only been a 3-time first-team quarterback 3 times in 23 seasons. 22 seasons, however long he's played. He's a 3-time. Lamar Jackson has done that 3 times in his first 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
About to be a 3-time, he's about to have more MVPs in his first 7 years than any quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, Ocho, it counts more in the playoffs.
Well, that's what they judge
the regular season.
That's what they judge the quarterbacks off anyway.
That's it. No other player gets judged off the playoffs like the quarterback does.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how he makes his money.
Yeah.
That's how he makes his name. If you want to you can be great, but if you want to be iconic,
the
playoffs are where it's at. Kobe, Bird, Magic, Jordan, Braun, iconic.
Yeah.
Shaq, Montana, Rice,
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes, Brady. Iconic.
It puts you into another stratosphere. It puts you into another conversation. The conversation separates you from everybody else. Oh, there have been a lot of NFL players in the NFL. There have been a lot of NFL quarterbacks in the NFL. But you become iconic. And almost...
I think it's Ocho. Players, coaches, general managers, front office, over 25,000.
Damn.
25,000. 25,000.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about the Hall of Fame, I think it's less than 400.
Uh-huh.
But when you talk about historic and iconic players, Lamar Jackson has an opportunity that when you talk about the NFL, you cannot mention anything about the NFL or quarterbacks without saying L. Jack's name.
Yeah.
That's what he has an opportunity to do.
You know what's funny? And even now, even at this point, with no Super Bowl, you can't talk about the story of the quarterbacks throughout the entirety of the NFL without mentioning his name now. So imagine what happens when he gets over the hump. Because you can't tell the story of quarterbacks based on what he's done once he wins his MVP without mentioning his name.
But now you win a Super Bowl when the Bradys and the Montanas and the Mahomes having a discussion.
Yeah.
Let me roll my what y'all guys talking about? I'm at the table, Ocho.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm at the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damn, man.
Yes. He's special.
Yeah.
All it takes is one.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this. I believe if he can get one, and I hate using the caveat if, but if he can just get one, I believe the floodgates are open.
Yeah.
I believe the floodgates for Lamar Jackson will open. And boy, it's hard. I mean, you think about it. Marino was 23, went to the Super Bowl, won the MVP, and never been back. It took, John went, I think John came in, 21, 83, 84, 85, 86. Right. He went to the Super Bowl in 86, went in 87, went back in 89, ain't win it. John won the Super Bowl in year 15 and year 16.
That's
Kelly never won. Moon never won. I mean, think about it. They were killing Steve Young. Steve Young was winning MVPs just like Lamar.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he won that Super Bowl he got that bear off his back.
Once you get that monkey off you, hey, look, you ever ran the 400?
Of course.
You know what it's like when you coming out that curve on that 300? And that monkey jump on your back coming down that right away?
Yep.
All right.
And that's what it takes. All Lamar, that's Steve Young. He had to get that. He had to get that one.
Right.
Get that one.
Good.
That's it. Every team has played in an NFC Championship game since the Cowboys last went to the NFC Championship game. You got you got Dan Quinn with a rookie quarterback in the NFC Championship game. Kellen Moore is calling plays in the NFC Championship game. His first year there.
So who do you think the problem is in Dallas? I'm just curious. Chad, who do you think the problem is in Dallas? Because everyone that leaves Dallas and goes somewhere else, they seem to have found success or finding success.
The coaches thrive.
So who is the problem? I'm just asking. I'm curious what the chat would say on the problem.
Oh, yeah. You know, Mike McCarthy got tired of Kellen Moore getting a little shine. Oh, you know, he wanted to run the ball he wanted to pass the ball too much. And lo and behold, he get Kellen Moore out there and he throws the ball more than what Kellen Moore did when Kellen Moore was calling the plays.
Yeah.
Everybody
I know who I would like
to
to see be the Dallas coach. I know we've heard the rumblings about Prime going there, and I'm not sure if that would work, that situation, because Prime would be the one to take all the spotlight away from Jerry. Tremendously.
You don't want that.
I think Dak and Chad might not agree with me, but I think Dak and CeeDee Lamb and the rest of the supporting cast offensively would do very well with Ben Johnson and his creativity, you know, with that offense, and being the fact that with Ben Johnson, they would be somewhere statistically in the top 5 when it comes to scoring. I don't know why I just like it. I just think someone like Ben Johnson being in Dallas, not only being a head coach, but also controlling and doing the play calling as well.
You can't, Ocho. Because he like Al. Man, they had to get Al the sheet. Al needed to know what you was running. We're not going to get into that. Ocho, in fact, 7 Dallas assistant coaches from 22 or 23 will be participating.
Wait, how many?
In the NFC Championship game. 7.
Damn.
The last championship game appearance for the Dallas Cowboys was 1995. The Bears, every team has been in the NFC Championship game except the Cowboys in the 2000s. Even the Bears. The Giants won the Super Bowl. The Seahawks, Carolina, Arizona, Falcons, Minnesota, Saints, Packers, Tampa, Rams, 49ers, Detroit, the Commanders, and the Eagles.
Do you think Jerry knows this, or he doesn't pay it no mind?
Ocho, if you could do whatever you wanted to do and make $300 million, or you could do it the right way, make $300 million, but you're not gonna get no credit. Jerry wants credit.
That ain't working.
That's what Jerry wants.
That ain't working.
Jerry wants to be the face.
How could you not? It's not working.
He doesn't. Didn't that man tell you he bought this team? He bought this occupation.
Yeah, but normally
he told you that, Ocho.
When you buy
what more you want the man to tell you?
The point of buying the occupation is for one, so you can succeed and win at it. Not just buy it to tear it down, or not just buy it and be losing.
I want to do it. I want to work on my own car, and it won't ever crank. Instead of me taking it to an auto technician. Instead of me taking it to Ocho, because you know we got to be politically correct. We can't say mechanic anymore. We got to say auto technician. No, because you know people that let's give them the proper credit.
Auto technicians.
The auto technicians. Shade tree ass mechanic. But in that situation, man, look at this. With a rookie quarterback, Dan Quinn stayed longer than what he probably should because he thought he was going to get the Dallas job. He was going to be willing to give up of himself. We saw Dan Quinn get to the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl, have a 28-3 lead, so he can coach. can coach. But nobody, Ben Johnson is not going to be Ben Johnson in Dallas. He needs to go somewhere where he's going to have control. It looks like all indication is pointing to the Raiders. I wouldn't be surprised within the next 2 to 3 days.
How we
he's
going to the Raiders? We don't got no quarterback. I'm talking about we.
He doesn't want to. Listen, a lot of times guys don't want to be in a situation with Detroit. A guy that gave him his start, I don't really want to be in that situation. Dan Quinn said, I don't care. Dan Quinn said, I'm tired of this. You told me how you were going to make something happen for your boy, and you ain't do it. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and beat your ass. I'm just saying, Ocho. The Eagles defeated the Rams 28-22. Philadelphia advances to the NFC Championship game for the second time in 3 years. They will host the Commanders next Sunday in an all-NFC East clash. Saquon rushed for 205. Remember, he had 255 the first game. This is the second time this season he's exceeded 200 yards rush against the Rams. The majority of the yardage came on 2 carries. He had a 78-yarder. He had a 62-yarder. Jalen Hurts suffered his knee injury in the second half, but was able to finish the game.
Yeah.
Ocho, you and I talked last night. I'm not going to let Saquon beat me.
Yeah.
If Jalen Hurts throws for an efficient 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, I walk to the middle of the field. Hey, good luck next week. Whoever y'all play against the Commanders, man, you're a hell of a player. That's what I do. I'm not going to let Saquon beat me. And I'll be damned if they didn't let Saquon beat him.
You have to remember, right? We got Lane Johnson. You got Lane across the board. They average as far as weight goes, but the Rams' defensive line is undersized. They're undersized. They tried. They had some moments where they were able to contain Saquon, but at some point, when you keep chopping that wood, at some point it's going to break. At some point, it's going to crack. And that's exactly what happened due to them being so undersized up front. Even if you stack a 9 in the box, once they come off the ball, they bully them boys up front.
They definitely did that.
They bully them boys up front. So it takes so much pressure off Jalen. It takes so much pressure off Jalen Hurts too. It takes so much pressure off him because he don't have to do much. Because Saquon is carrying the load. Same situation over there in Baltimore. Put the ball in your bell cow's hands and let him take the game over for you.
But Philly never got away from that.
Yeah, they did. They did.
That's the problem, Ocho. Baltimore got away from it for a quarter. Why? And you look at some plays, they had Saquon got stopped. But you let him get that hole, and he stepped to the side, pieced him out.
You know what's so funny? Is he take them small steps when he running and it's faster than every damn body and never get close to the line.
The thing is, he's quick. The thing is, he has great balance. If you look at the crossover, his step, like they give him the ball and he steps outside, and when he sees a crease,
he gone. He hit it. He hit it. And he hit another gear.
He stepped on it, man.
Yeah.
The first one that he stepped on it, gone. The 78-yarder, Ocho, he's like
out of there.
And that was just Ocho, that wasn't a toss, that was just a handoff.
Handoff, yeah.
And then he crosses over, boom, and he exploded. A pair of fumbles on back-to-back drives set the Rams back significantly. Matthew Stafford had L.A. in the red zone. I thought L.A. was going to do it because Puka Nacua made a heck of a catch over Slay, or Darius Slay with a chance, and then on fourth down. But Ocho, I'm looking at there was some miscommunication with the center and the right guard because on back-to-back plays, you turn Jalen Carter. I don't know why. I'm not going away from him.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going away from
him. The center looked right, and the guard slid to the right, and then he went to the left and then tried to come back. And by the time he came back, he was sacking Stafford. I'm like, young boy.
I'm like, bro, why would you do it? Listen, hey, y'all handle that over there. I got to worry about this one.
Yeah.
This is the one I got to worry. He's the one. And he did it again on fourth down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, bro, I'm not, listen, on the defense, Ocho,
Yeah.
if you got Reggie White, if you got Bruce, you got LT, I respect everybody on the offensive line, defensive line because you're in the league. But I'm not, hey, it's like AD. Why would you double someone else other than Aaron Donald?
Right.
Why would you double someone else other than J.J. Watt? Why?
Now,
That's Jalen Carter.
Yeah. And
he's the most disruptive right now. And I said this, if he ever got in shape, because I saw him in college.
Yeah.
Not his last year. Last year he was bull jiving. But when he hungry and motivated, and I think he's motivated now because he's an all-pro, he's a Pro Bowl player. Ocho, if in the next 3 years he's not a defensive player of the year, I ain't talking about a candidate. I'm saying like the defensive player of the year, where they call his name defensive player of the year is Jalen Carter, he should be disappointed.
Yeah.
That's the kind of ability this young man has. He's explosive. He can play the run. He's disruptive. He can pressure your quarterback. He punched the ball out because he did a great one hand on and punched the ball out of Kyron Williams' hand. Yeah, man. He has all the tools. He should be thinking, man. Hell, I'm thinking Hall of Fame. I'm thinking, hey, they need to start getting me ready for the size 52, a 54 jacket. He has that kind of ability.
Does he know it though? Now, if he can channel all that and understand how great he is or how good he is now, it's all about him understanding what you can see watching from home. We can see the greatness in him.
Oh, he's special.
He got to understand it and funnel all that energy into his craft. He can
He's so quick.
He can be one of the best to ever do it.
He showed up he's so quick off the ball, Ocho, for a man his size. Man his size ain't supposed to be that kind of explosive.
No, his first step is not supposed to be that fast.
And he's powerful. I don't know if he's weight room strong, Ocho. I don't know if he can bench 500 pounds and squat all that. But I'm talking about football strength to take a man. I said that's the way you could tell somebody. Can you move a man against his will?
Against his will, yeah. I knew you were gonna say that.
Can you move him against his will? When he said, man, I ain't going nowhere. The hell you say? Get off this plot of land.
When I think about it, I got 3 defensive tackles, right? Three defensive tackles that were not only weight room strong, but on the field it showed up as well. And then their first step, quick as hell. Now watching Jalen Carter, he's one that's been able to do it. Aaron Donald, weight room strong.
Oh yeah.
Also,
his quickness,
a technical savage.
Yes.
With a quick step. I got 2 more for you though.
Who do you got?
Remember Big Sam Adams?
Oh yeah, I remember. I played with Hammer.
Man, Big Sam had one of the quickest first steps, man, to be that size, but also weight room strong. And the one that take the cake, the only man I've ever seen put 45s on the bench bar to where it's no room left and you can't put them on there with the quickest first step as well. That goddamn Vince Wilfork, man. What? And then he up under the bench talking, holding the conversation, and with all the place, the bar bending.
Wow.
Bar ain't even straight no more. He got all the 45s on I don't even know how much it was. People in the chat, if you lift weights, you could tell me, please tell me how much when you have all the 45s on the bench bar where you can't put them on there. He holding the conversation with me. We in the weight room. He talking to me and slow. I'm not talking about bringing it down and coming back up right away. I'm talking about slow. What the hell you be? What?
Man, I love, watching him, obviously watching Jalen Carter, like I said, I was disappointed in him because I thought he bull-jived this last year. He knows he's going to be a top pick. The Eagles got a bargain. The Eagles should have never been able to get him at 10. But he had some issues. He had some red flags, got a couple of, some trouble with the law and speeding and the situation. He got himself into some trouble. But he's supposed to have been the number 1 overall pick. That's how good he is.
Damn.
That's the kind of ability that he has, and I think now he's starting to learn it. Hopefully, Fletcher Cox, who was there and retired, hopefully he got an opportunity to talk to him and say, son, you can be, look, you got Reggie White's potential. Everybody know what Reggie, the Minister of Defense, everybody know what Reggie was. Reggie brought it. every game, every play, whether he was in Philly, he was in Green Bay, he retired, came back for his last year, played 1 year in Carolina. People don't realize that Reggie played a year in Carolina because he had at that point in time, I think he had retired. Him and his wife Sarah had got a place on Lake Norman. Man, Jalen Carter, this Eagles team is gonna be everybody thought they was gonna be going to Detroit. There's like, no, we got the AFC, we got the NFC Championship game on our field, and we got it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a great game because both games were close. Both games were close, Ocho. They won by 8 on their field, and then Washington ended up winning in that last and sudden death. Wasn't overtime, but they ended up winning on the last second when he threw that touchdown pass for like 4 or 5 seconds. And the thing with Washington is because of their quarterback, Ocho, they believe they got a chance. Because look how many games that they won on the last possession, the last throw of the game. So we don't believe we're out of any game long as we got that guy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
I wonder what the weather's gonna be like. But in DC.
Bad.
DC just as cold. Yeah, DC just as cold.
Bad.
Philly. Just as cold.
Yeah. You probably get, I mean, it started the game, look at the field, how it looked like, ooh, it's just gonna be cold. And next thing you know, snow.
Yeah.
So it's probably gonna be that next week. Same thing, Ocho.
That's gonna be good.
Eagles fans showed up outside the Rams team hotel today and started trash talking the players this morning. This comes after LA's Jared Verse said last week that he hates Philly and all their fans. Jalen Carter approached Verse pregame, offered to put the championship game bonus on the line. Verse declined.
Yeah. Listen, Verse might have talked this trash, but boy, he showed up today.
Well, he gonna be defensive rookie of the year.
He showed up today. Verse showed up today as much. Listen, as a team, the team didn't win. But when you talk trash like that before a game, he backed it all up.
Oh yeah,
he backed it all up with his play. He was all over the place. He was giving Jalen Hurts hell.
I like Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter said, "Hey, you confident? Put your bonus up.
Put your money up." He wasn't gonna do that.
Oh, I was just playing. Nah, man. I was just playing, Ocho, man. You know how I mean.
Yeah. Hey. As a rookie, you ain't putting that money on the line.
Hell nah.
I don't play
what? I mean, what did they get? 77 grand for winning today?
Yeah, everybody. When you get to the playoffs, everybody's checking.
Oh yeah. I don't like that. I'm taking a pay cut. Because I know my check looked like in the regular season. And y'all give me first of all, it wasn't near this when I played. So you can just imagine when I went to that. I retired 20 years ago, Ocho. So you could know the checks wasn't nowhere near this. So I definitely wouldn't have bet. Oh, I would have bet like Green Bay because they was talking that ish. Oh, I definitely would have bet all them bums. Right. I definitely would have bet all them for sure. Man, it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be. I don't know who had this. Who had Washington and Philly on your bingo card in the NFC Championship? I think a lot of teams had.
They might have had Philly. They might have had Philly in it.
Exactly,
but not Washington. No.
Everybody either had Kansas City. You had some combination: Kansas City, Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, Baltimore, Buffalo. That was the combination that you had in the AFC. So I don't think anybody's surprised that we see Buffalo and Kansas City. I think there's a lot of people in shock, other than people like, Earthquake. Quake is a big Washington fan. There are a lot of people that are Commander fans that grew that like, man, I'm tired of this losing. I think somebody asked me today, man, we got a chance? I'm like, yeah, you got a chance. It's a football game, but I wasn't gonna put no money on Washington, not against Detroit. Ocho, we talked about it. The Commanders stunned the Lions 45-31 to advance to the NFC Championship game. It's their first advancement since 1992. Jayden Daniels threw for 299 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff had a brutal day, and this would concern me, Ocho. When your defense is a little sus with all those injuries, the last thing you can do is turn the ball over. And you definitely can't turn it over 4 times. You play double. You gave a pick 6 up. You took points off the board with Jameson Williams. You gave him a short field to get another touchdown. And at the end, that little interception didn't matter. But you still had 4 turnovers. Detroit defense had no answer for Washington's offense. They racked up almost 500 yards of total offense, only had to punt the ball once. The Commanders will face the winner of the Eagles and the Rams game. The Lions' season ends with massive disappointment, and they expect to have huge turnover. It's reported that both coordinators are probably going to leave. Ben Johnson being rumored to go into the Las Vegas Raiders, and Aaron Glenn, potential the Jets or the Saints. We'll see how that plays out. But Detroit will have to wait another year. Very disappointing season. 15 wins, a lot of Pro Bowl players on that side, on that football team, Ocho. But the first Super Bowl appearance for the Detroit Lions will have to wait another year. Ocho.
Let me tell you something, man. Listen, I know the Lions lost, and obviously Goff has to play better with the defense being held together by duct tape. Basically, their third string out there. They have a few playmakers. That's pretty much it. Obviously, Goff has to understand, in order for you to even have a chance, a winning chance, you can't turn the ball over. You just can't. You can't. That first half of football, I tweeted and I asked, and a lot of people answered, when was the last time you seen a half of football that exciting and that good where teams were scoring back-to-back? It seemed like almost every series. Now, there was...
Well, yeah. Well, you saw it. You saw it 3 weeks ago with Buffalo and Detroit.
I think in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, in 2019, the
Chiefs and the Rams.
Football was like that every Sunday. Every Sunday. But the fact that we were able to get this treat tonight in the upset that the Commanders put on the Lions was absolutely phenomenal. And I want people to understand how important it is and why teams invest in quarterbacks and why they pay quarterbacks the kind of money they pay. Because when you get a franchise quarterback like this, it turns your franchise around immediately. Immediately. You have to think, they haven't been in the NFC Championship in the past 33 years. The past 33 years. This is the first time they scored 45 points. 45 points, which is a franchise record, in the playoffs. Man, I don't even know what to say. I'm so goddamn excited, obviously, for Jayden Daniels, for Commanders fans that have waited for this for who knows how long. Who knows how long? Just to be in contention, just to be able to compete week to week, and now to be playing an NFC Championship after a 33-year hiatus is awesome, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, you pay double for turnovers, Ocho, but it doesn't matter if the team can't capitalize on the turnovers. And when they turned the ball over Detroit, Washington made them pay the ultimate price. They got points out of them. Except that interception at the end of the first half, Ocho. I don't know. Goff didn't play well today. There's no way around it. He didn't play well. He got Jameson Williams. I don't know why he would throw that post so flat. Because the guy's in a trail position. He's going to jet it. If you throw it flat, he's going to jet it. With what we call it, Chat, we call it jetting.
Every time.
What we mean is that he's going to undercut it.
Why did he throw it flat?
You can't throw the ball that
no
flat. You got to throw it. You got the whole field.
And then to me, honestly, I think I think the ball was late a little bit.
Lead him across.
I think the ball was a little late because that's the first thing I tweeted. I'm saying, man, that ball is late.
Yeah, it was. But when you turn the ball over like that, give Jayden Daniels, man. I don't know. This rookie season that he's having. Look, we can go back and talk about rookie season. We saw C.J. Stroud had an unbelievable season. He was rookie of the year. We said RG3 season, he was rookie of the year. But for him to do it, because look, we've seen rookie quarterbacks go to the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, I think Mark Sanchez went to the playoffs. But that was a defensive-led football team. We saw Joe Flacco go to the playoffs. That was a defensive-led football team. This is an offensive-led football team. Their quarterback is asked to do an awful lot. And he's like, okay, let me do it. Whatever you need from me.
As a rookie, you're not supposed to be this goddamn good this early. Do you see his composure on a zero blitz? 3-man coming right at him. He's sitting there chilling. Just waiting. Just waiting. He hit Ertz twice. Zero blitz. What the hell?
Yes. Brown makes an unbelievable catch. Terry McLaurin, they catch him with a bomb. They catch him with a blitz.
Yeah.
It wasn't blitz because the safety
Terrible.
was in the hole, but he takes a terrible angle, and McLaurin hit the jets on him, and then he's gone. But Ocho, the thing is, and we knew this.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, they're a pressure team. Detroit's a pressure team to begin with. We know once they got the lead, now you got to take even more chances. Now, hey guys, let's just catch the ball.
It's a wrap.
They miss a tackle, you can hit your head on the goalpost. It's a wrap. But Jared, and this what really concerned me, because Jared Goff can be great where he goes. We've seen him do this, Ocho.
Weeks at a
go
time.
18 of 18 for a game. But we've seen him turn the ball, throw 5 picks against the Houston Texans. We've seen him, and they win the ball game. We've seen him turn the ball over 2 times, 3 times in a game, and they win the ball game. But you can't turn the ball over against a team that's just this explosive on the offensive side of the football. When they got playmakers, when you got Ertz, who's a 3-time Pro Bowl player, you got Terry McLaurin, who's going to another Pro Bowl, who's an outstanding receiver, and you got guys playing exceptional. Brown making big-time plays. Guys running the football, the offensive line. When you have a player like a Jayden Daniels at that position, which is the quarterback position, everybody believes in him. The offensive line blocks a little harder. Guys run a little harder. Guys make tougher and tougher catches for you because they believe so, hey, I can't let this guy down. I believe in him. The whole team. Now the defense like, hey, let's get him the ball back. Now all of a sudden it seems like the ball has a magnet in it and it's distracted to the other side of the football.
Yeah.
I've said this before. You pay double for turnovers. And when I believe Detroit was the better team. But guess what happens, Ocho, when you turn the ball over? That team that you might be better than, and you're up here, you pull them up to your level.
Yeah. And now, also what I like also with the running game, because Jayden Daniels is such a threat, similar to Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying the fact that he has the defense to be able to hold, when he put that ball in Eckler's belly, or he put that ball in Brian Robinson's belly, and he make them ends sit for just a little bit, allow them guards to go up to the second level and get that block, then you're getting 5-6 yards a pop every time. Okay, in the end you want to crash down? You know what? I'm gonna take it and go ahead and
That's not your responsibility, though.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. They got it 4th and 2.
Yeah. Keep your eyes on.
That's not your responsibility. You have contained. Your responsibility is contained. If he runs for a touchdown on the opposite side, Coach, I don't know what you want me to do. That's not you. That's why I couldn't coach Ocho. He knows his responsibility is contained. Why would you take Ocho? I don't give a damn what. Hey, I'm gonna be looking right here at my gap.
Right.
What about I don't care. They ain't got nothing to do with me. This is my responsibility over here. And when you're dealing with a guy like him, or you're dealing with a guy like Lamar, one false step, the man had a coach used to tell us all the time, son, if you hesitate, you beat. You take one false step against a Jayden Daniels. You take one false step against a guy like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. You're beat. You're not going to recover and stop him from getting 2 yards. That's why they want you to hold contain. Do your responsibility. Nothing in the A gap, nothing in the B gap, nothing in the backside A, B, or outside is your responsibility. You abandon your rescibility and you gave up
the funny thing about it is you got your eyes in the backfield on the fake pitch that's going the opposite way anyway. You wouldn't have been able to get there anyway. You wouldn't have been able to get there.
What you gonna do?
Anyway.
What you gonna do? Chase him in the end zone and have everybody thinking that that's your guy? That's all you gonna do, chase him in the end zone. They were like, man, Arnold got beat again. Ocho, if guys would just do their responsibility, whatever that is, if you got a gap, Ocho, if that guy comes in outside, that ain't my responsibility. I got the A gap. Arnold has contained. He must not contain means nothing gets outside of him. Nothing. Hey, Ocho, if I'm security at a club, I got the front door. Somebody coming to me, I don't know what y'all want me to do. That ain't my responsibility. Hell, you should have somebody back there. I got the front door. What they tell Vera? Why the girls always coming? Are you in charge of the girls, Vera? Yeah, I'm in charge of the girl quick. So why the money coming up? Why the money coming up short, Vera?
Hold on.
You in charge of the girl.
Are you accusing me of stealing?
I'm just saying why everybody always accounted for, but the money coming up quick with the girls. Arnold, your responsibility. But, okay, now because DQ, he says, I'm going for the death blow. I ain't selling for no field goal. I'm going for the death blow. I got this hammer in my hand. I got the momentum, and I'm not going to relinquish it. Maybe if you stop them on fourth down, who knows? Maybe that takes some of the wind out of their sail. It gives you some momentum. But what do? They go in and score a touchdown. I get it.
First game,
Jared Goff picked the worst time to have one of his worst games of his career. You turn the ball over like that in the postseason, you're losing. Probably 999 times out of 1,000, you're going to lose a game. If you give up a pick six, you throw a pick in the end zone, you fumble. Look, like I said, it was 4 turnovers. He had 3 picks and a fumble. That last one, Ocho, the game was basically, I mean, you're down 14 points. So you're not coming back. You're not coming back anyway. Bro, you cannot play that bad in that moment. You're too much of a veteran quarterback to be that reckless with the football. And then Ocho, this is why they tell, and I get it. I get Jared Goff. He's like, this is a big game. This is a divisional round, the playoff game. Let me chase. But you're not used to chasing. So you don't know where those guys are coming from. You see, the thing is, once, you and I, somebody get a pick, the first thing we do,
every time.
where to stay? Because somebody coming to get you. They're coming to get you. So I just need, let me, because the one time I didn't do that, I got my clock clean. The first thing, the first, all I can see is like,
listen, rule number 1, when there's an interception and you on the offensive team, you keep your head on the swivel. Listen, you pursue, but you keep your head on the swivel because you don't know where it's coming from. No.
They can't block back anymore, Ocho. But if you bringing your ass to the ball, they're going to knock you. And you see what happens. The first thing to hit was his back of his head. He never saw Lovu. He never saw him. And he put his helmet right up under his mofo chin.
And then they said that there should have been a penalty called on that play. But if you have someone trying to make a tackle on the play, why can't you block him even though it is a quarterback? He had the chance to stop. Oh, because he went. Okay. I understand. And you know what's funny? In Jayden Daniels also tonight. Again, Commanders fan. If you're a Commanders fan, you in the chat. You should be happy. You should be happy. And I said it when the game was going on. Despite no matter who wins this game, if you're a Commanders fan and you know you have Jayden Daniels, you should be happy and excited for the next decade because you know what's to come. There have been 5 quarterbacks that have made a conference championship in NFL history in their rookie year. Sean King in 99, Ben Roethlisberger in 2004, Joe Flacco in 2008, Mark Sanchez, obviously, that defensive-led Jets, Brock Purdy in 2022, and now Jayden Daniels. Young bull is special, man.
But if you think about it, Ocho, think about the guys you mentioned. Now, that 99 team, team had John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Warren Sapp, and Derrick Brooks, and Simeon Rice. So that's 5 guys. I mean, Brooks in the Hall of Fame. Sapp's in the Hall of Fame. Lynch is in the Hall of Fame. If I'm not mistaken, I think Rondé Barber is in the Hall of Fame. So that's 4 Hall of Famers. Simeon Rice could easily be in the Hall of Fame. He has some issues. People, reporters don't really care about it. But that's potential. That's a defensive-based football team. Joe Flacco, do I need to say what they had? Suggs, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. I won't say anymore. Look at Mark Sanchez. Look at what that defensive, that's a Rex Ryan team. That's a defensive-based football team. Brock Purdy's team. That was, look, they had outstanding weapons, but they played very, very, very good defense. They put so much on Jayden Daniels' plate. and he eats it all. He's better than advertised. I thought he could be good, but there's always a learning curve. And look, there's and the part of the season, Ocho, we started. I don't know, Ocho. Bo Nix might sneak in there and get some of them. Get some of them rookie of the year vote. Man, that's just it. He took a deep breath.
Hold my beer.
Exhale.
Jayden Daniels basically saying, hold my beer.
The Chiefs defeated the Texans 23-14. The Texans outplayed the Chiefs on offense and defense for much of the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, he is.
But that my homeboy gonna find a way. The man, they got him going down. He Superman's it. Finds Kelsey. But I told you, nephew, he don't have the legs that he once has. But he's a professional open guy. That's what Travis Kelce is now. Can he run like he once could? No. Had he been able to run like he once could, he'd probably have 200 plus yards today. But he can't run like that.
Yeah.
But what he can do is still get open. And he can see things like he and my homeboy struggled this year of getting that connection, Ocho. What we had seen them have for the past 6 years.
Oh yeah, that Wi-Fi.
But when it needed it, you know where he's going, and they did a great job. They doubled him a lot of times, Ocho. You see he run the cross, the basic cross. They got the safety coming down to take it away. They play it in and out on him. But look, check this out. And I said this before, and people like to keep saying, Travis Kelce is the greatest tight end ever play. He's number 1 in playoff in catches over Jerry Rice. He's 200 yards behind Jerry Rice for the most receiving yards in playoff history. He's 2 touchdowns behind Jerry Rice for the most touchdowns in playoff history. 10 Pro Bowls. He had like 7, 8 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Right.
No other tight end has more than 4. He has 7, 8 straight. Remember, Ocho, he would have got another one. They sat him out last year because they was already locked into the 3 seed. The thing that's most impressive about him, as great as he is in the regular season, he's even better in the postseason. And that's not a knock on anybody. The 2 top tight ends for me are him and Gronk. I think it's him and Gronk. I'm taking Trav. That's not to say I don't like Gronk. I think Gronk is phenomenal. His relationship with Brady is just like what Trav had with my homeboy. But you can't deny. You can't deny the numbers. Regular season, the Pro Bowls, the All Pros, the way big game after big game after big. Have you ever left a playoff game and say, man, Trav let us down, man. He ain't play good today. I mean, Ocho, and I'm talking about when the money, we shoving all the money. Hey, it's finality now. The playoffs is all about finality. And ain't no, hey, we'll look at the tape. We'll bounce back next week. Next week is 8 months from now. This guy has been money. 172 postseason receptions. He's far away. He's not done. He has 2,020 yards. That's second all time. We know Jerry's the GOAT. Not just because of what he did in the regular season. When you ever see a game where you say, "Wait, man, Jerry let us down in the postseason." He's 2 in yards and touchdown. He's a tight end. He's a tight end, and he has 1,000 catches. Ain't a whole lot of 1,000 catch guys. What is it? 10, 12, Ocho? Only what? I think Gonzo it has the record. He has like 1,300. I think Witten has like 1,100, and I think he's the next tight end. He has 1,000. I think Gates had like 9. I think Gates had 9, maybe 9 something, and then everybody else, everybody else kind of after me, but he for me, Ocho, and the most 100 catch playoff games in postseason history. Can I interest you in that?
That's crazy.
A tight end. He's won in most 100-yard games. He's won in catches. He's 2 in yards. He's 2 in touchdowns.
What makes most of that possible too, if you think about it, if he was on any other team, it wouldn't be the same. The production, the numbers, the accolades, it wouldn't be the same. And just the right fit, the right offense, the right quarterback, the right play calling, the right creativity, and everything, the rest take care of itself.
Ocho, he went to the Pro Bowl with Alex Smith.
Now, no.
We didn't talk about this guy like we do now until he got my homeboy. Let's be 1,000. And he was a phenomenal player. Yes. I think he's gone to 10 straight Pro Bowls. You got to be good to go to 10 straight. And there are times that he had Kittle not had those all-world seasons. He might have been he might have a couple of more first-team all-pros. Look at Brock Bowers had a historic season, but the 10 consecutive Pro Bowls for a tight end. What he's been able to do, his body of work, when it's all said and done, I think right now it's just he and Gronk at the table having a discussion. I don't know, boy. Hey, bro, we don't need to do. We don't need to discuss it among ourselves. We're gonna let other people discuss it. I think it's them two. I love them both. Watch them both. It's funny. They both got the same number. Both played. You'll probably say when it's all said and done.
All time, they
played with the two greatest quarterbacks of all time. That definitely helps. But what he's been able to do, man, like I said, at this point in time, he doesn't have the legs that he once had.
Very savvy.
He's just a professional guy that knows
very
how to get
savvy. Being able to read defenses.
That's it.
And the funny thing about it, not only getting open, is him and Mahomes be on the same page and knowing when to settle. Knowing where to settle, knowing where to be at. And every time, man, never fail.
Ocho, if you play Kansas City, if you play a Steve Spagnuolo defense, the moment he feels threatened, he's coming with the bomb blitz. He finna blow it up. The moment you threaten him, he's coming. Hell, I know that. How Chiefs don't know? I mean, how the Texans don't know that? Bro, they're gonna come. If you threaten him, he's coming with the blitz. He's going to blow it up. He'll throw caution to the wind. Damn that safety in the middle of the field. I'm coming to get you. 7 sacks. They sacked him 7 times. They had 7 sacks in the fourth quarter? 3 by George Karlaftis. Yeah. They got after him. CJ was back. CJ was called him. Look, they did a great job. I think, you know what? Karlaftis got him early when he tackled him out of bounds. He kind of tweaked that ankle.
Tweaked a little bit.
Yeah. But the thing is with Kansas City, you know this, Ocho. And I thought Texas did a good job. They didn't turn the ball over. I thought Joe Mixon ran the ball well enough.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to get better on the offensive line. That's the next thing they do now, Ocho. They got look, Tank Dell. Tank Dell's gonna miss some time, Ocho. He's gonna miss some time. I wouldn't count on him coming back next year. Early. I don't know what they're gonna do with Stephon Diggs. If he's gonna take, I don't think nobody's gonna give him that $30 million coming off an ACL injury, so he might have to take a 1-year deal. I don't know if he wants for it to be there. I would look at staying there because I got a really good quarterback. I got Nico Collins on one side. I like Dalton Schultz at the tight end. Bro, that's a bull job that you did on that pass blocking. Look here, bro. I ain't saying you got to be Mark Bavaro or Gronk or George Kittle, but bro, you can't do that. Ogumba Wale, that's some bull jive. 2 guys should be able to block. A running back and a tight end should be able to block a defensive end. 2 guys should be able to, unless it's Reggie or one of these all-worlds, LT, something like that. Ain't no way that should. That's some half-hearted ass.
What else? Watching the game, obviously, a lot of chirping, obviously, from some prominent figures in the NFL that are part of the NFL in general, talking about some of the calls that were made in favor of the Chiefs. I mean, we hear this all the time, especially around the postseason time, sometimes in the regular season as well. It seems calls are always convenient when it matters most for them to give them whatever it may be, and one of the things that bother me, that's starting to bother me just a little bit. I love Mahomes. I love everything they're doing. It's just that Mahomes is intentionally playing with defenders to draw some of these.
Oh, he slowed down, and the guy pushed him like, bro, you still in bounds. And then he went limp. He went limp on him, Ocho.
He's
but
doing
he
it on
was still
purpose.
in
That's
bounds,
what I'm
bro. Get
saying.
your ass out of bounds.
And it's forcing the ref to throw flags, and the refs are starting to get a little jumpy. So every time, but Mahomes is playing around. He's doing it purposely because he's taking advantage of the rules and knowing that he could take advantage of it, and he's flopping sometimes. Oh yeah.
And the late slide, that was a late slide. I don't know what the guy, because he got the last second. He go down. I don't know what you want me to do. I've already committed.
He's doing it on purpose because he
committed
knows
to lighten his ass up.
He can take advantage of the rules. So why not? Now, I'm not sure. It's probably too late now, but at some point next year, the competition committee or whoever the powers may be, they need to implement a rule.
Never.
Yeah.
Not when it comes to that quarterback. They're going to protect. Hey, the rule, this is what was told to me. When in doubt, if it's a quarterback, throw the flag.
Right.
I don't care if you get it wrong. We will not hold that against you. When in doubt,
well, I mean,
if it's the quarterback,
the chat, if y'all watch the game today, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not saying wrong, and I'm not saying nothing bad. You know, the Chiefs are great, and all that they do. Patrick Mahomes, one of the best ever. But I'm just saying he's taking advantage of the rules a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes, sir.
Ocho, can I ask you a question? We heard the same thing when Tom Brady and the Patriots were winning. It was the referee. Yeah. We heard the same thing, Ocho. And we saw Tom Brady get a call. Chris Jones hit the man in the shoulder pad. Yeah. They said he hit the man in the head. He didn't touch his head.
Yeah.
There are a lot of phantom calls. It happens. They called a penalty tonight. On Montgomery. That man ain't touching Montgomery's face, man.
Then you know what? And
he had his shoulder pad.
But you have to understand,
because his head went back,
we see it in slow motion. And we're actually seeing it in real time. Yes. So it's fast. It looks fast.
In real time. And it looks like his head does this, and it looked like, he grabbed his face mask. That man ain't touched that man's face mask. And you throw that flag, you shouldn't be allowed to say face or mask the rest of the year. But and I think the biggest call, what got him, is that when Mahomes overthrew Kelsey and Will Anderson hit him in the chest, and they thought he hit him in his chin. He didn't
reverse it. And hey, listen, Mahomes sold it now. He sold it. He sold it.
Yes, they good. Because what would Brady do? Every time they would hit Brady somewhat late, he started looking at the official. That's what the quarterback. Right. You're not gonna do anything about that.
But
look at how many times you ever saw the official come to the sideline and talk to any other player, like the official went to the sideline and talked to Josh Allen?
Right.
I have never seen an official come to the sideline and talk to a player. Say, look. Because he could have threw a flag, all that yelling. They threw a flag on Tom Brady one time, but Tom was probably MFing him.
Yeah.
Normally they throw a flag on you. You know, you keep yelling.
I've seen it a few times. I've seen it with Brady.
Now. Stop yelling.
I've seen it with Josh Allen. And in basketball, I saw it with Michael Jordan.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Ocho, the Texans are the first team in NFL postseason history to outgain an opponent by 100 yards, have 0 turnovers, and lose. Prior to today, teams were 49-0 in such games.
Them boys special, man. Them boys special.
They just know how to win. And there's an expectation when you've been in this situation, you got to beat them. How many times? It's normally not you had to beat Tom.
Convincingly, yeah.
You had to beat him. The only thing you don't want to have happen, you didn't want Tom to have the ball with a chance to beat your ass late in the ball game. You want you want to be taking a knee. Because it's the same thing with Mahomes. You don't want him to have the ball late with the ball in his hand. And I will say this about the Chiefs, Ocho. You get the ball to start your offense on the 13-yard line and you kick a field goal, next week you're going home. You do that against Buffalo or Baltimore, you're going home. You're going home. They got the ball again and they settle for another field goal. Now, I don't know what the Texans are going to do with their kicker.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance they're going to probably be on the market for another one.
Listen, you heard what I said.
I don't know what they're going to do with him, Ocho.
If they need a kicker, I'm right here. Nah.
I mean,
Oh,
one of the
it went
kick,
wide right.
that first kick wasn't even close.
It went wide right. Like, what are we doing?
Yes.
In a game like that, we're
Yeah. And then he missed an extra point, Ocho. Do you know how deflating that is, Ocho? Now we about to tie the game up, and I look, yeah, bro. Hey, nice run. Hey, nice run, Joe. Nice run, mix. Hey, want to put him in the blender, mix, blah, blah, blah. And then you like, oh, yeah, about to tie this thing up.
Listen, take the wind right out your sails.
Man, damn.
The wind right out your sails.
Man. I mean, you try to put a problem. That's okay. That's okay. We good. No, bro, we are behind. If they don't do anything else, if we don't do anything else, we lose. Oh man. Ocho, there's been a lot said about the refs favoring the Chiefs. The Texans spoke about it after the game. Let's take a listen to what CJ had to say first.
I got a question. If everybody keeps saying the same thing every year,
go ahead.
Every regular season, every postseason, when it comes to the Chiefs, questionable calls that are always convenient, and it seems they always side for the Chiefs. At what point are the people right? And there's not an excuse made every single time. If someone's always saying the same thing all the time, you know, if there's smoke, there's fire. If there's smoke, there's fire somewhere. Everybody can't be wrong about it. The coaches say it, the fans say it. Sometimes the people in the chat may say it. The people that don't agree are the people that are actually Chiefs fans, you know. But I'm just saying, I don't have a horse in this race. I'm just saying I see questionable things that happen at times that favor the Chiefs.
Did you see questionable calls with Kobe?
Yes, sir.
Did you see questionable calls with Michael Jordan?
Okay. Okay. So you know what it is. Okay.
With Brady too, did you?
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
It's going. Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Let's take a listen to what Joe Mixon had to say. Vic Lombardi, I know Vic, he rides out of dinner. He said, yeah, I'm done.
See?
Mahomes can't get separate rules. Vic.
Okay.
Vic, he's from Denver.
Listen, everybody can't be blind to the fact now. Not everybody. The players say it, the coaches say it, people from the outside that are prominent figures, like I said earlier, in the NFL that have been watching the game for a very long time, and they can see it. Now, I see it sometimes as a former player, occasionally, not often, but most of the time when they do get calls, the calls are warranted when I see it in slow motion. Okay, you know what? The fans might say that's some bull jive,
Right.
but as a fan, actually as a player and a fan of the game now, okay, that was warranted. That's really a call. Now,
yeah, I see, but you and I, we discuss it every week. Bro, I mean, the guy landed on the quarterback, personal foul. Bro, I'm like, so what you want me to do? You want me to lay this mofo down?
Hold on. Now, you know, sometimes the D line and D tackles, that not only do they tackle you, when they take it to the ground, you know, they putting all their weight on you too now.
But Ocho, I see guys try to carry.
Right.
Yeah, and so like I ain't trying to drop my weight on him, and they still throw the flag
every time.
They're gonna protect the quarterback. Chad, I get it. And I get frustrated too, because sometimes I see it, I'm like, bro, that's not a penalty. I mean, you got to let the guys play at some point in time. But they have been told, if there's any doubt in your mind, and it's on that guy.
Yeah.
Throw the flag.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Throw the flag.
Is even without the goddamn calls in favor of the Chiefs, they would still be winning these games. Without the calls, they would still be winning the game because when it matters most, and 15 has the ball in his hands, he's going to make it happen 99.9% of the time.
Commanders win has a current and former Cowboy great going at it on Twitter. Dan tweeted, first, Dan Quinn do it. What Dan Quinn is doing in Washington, Jerry, everybody needs to go, including Zim. I knew Washington was going to be successful because of DQ. Daz, why you keep saying Jerry? Jerry had an opportunity to hire Dan Quinn, and he kept Mike McCarthy. So when are you going to I understand. You have a great, I understand your relationship with Jerry, but when are you going to put this at Jerry's feet? Because that guy didn't take a job because he thought he was going to get the job. And then once it became abundantly clear Jerry was going to drag his feet, he took another job. What you want that man to do? I ain't finna be no damn coach and waiting for the rest of my life. Keep passing over opportunity after opportunity while Jerry swing his feet. Hell no. Jay did from now on, I'll speak truth about my Cowboys, good or bad. Jerry has built a great brand. That's all he's done, brand. And now it's time for the team to start winning. It's time for a real culture shift. I'm fed up with all this nepotism. Get someone in there who can win games. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, talk about what you mean? That's what they are, brand. That's what this is. What you mean to start winning? Culture. You can't have culture, Dez Bryant, when your owner doing what he
culture
does.
Starts at, Unc? You know what culture starts at? That start from the top. Culture don't start from the coach. Culture start from the top. And it. Well,
hold on, Ocho, before you go any farther. Michael Farson responded. Stuff that irritates me, Dez, because you had enough. He misspelled it. He put a T in front of it, but I know what he meant. You had enough talent and was probably one of the greatest in your time. You could have changed the culture, brother. You could have changed the culture.
Wait a minute now. Wait, now, Michael
Parson, what does the front office have to do with players' action and players be responsible for their actions? Dan shot back. I had to double back because you really said I could have changed the culture, emphasize that. As if you don't know, I was never on a yes man political ass kicking, kissing ish. I sacrificed myself so a lot of you could do what you do. I'm on some ish way deeper than football. You really too young to understand. You realize that soon you need to do more people like don't give a F for the better of the athletes. The way I talked to Jerry was the way versus the way you talk to Jerry is totally different.
Come on now.
Let it sink in.
Oh, now.
Uh-oh. That's what you say. You say you like that.
Hey, I like that.
You told me you like when the players speak
I like
truth.
that. See?
You
see what you get from
That's what you told me.
Now, if we can get all the players, even the active players, to start talking their truth, but Dez always been Dez since day one now. Dez ain't never changed. Dez ain't never conformed. Dez was never PC, so what you're hearing from here now is nothing new. That's always been him.
I don't believe you could have a culture as long as Jerry's the owner. Because what happens is you need one voice. That voice needs to emanate from the coach. If I can circumvent anything that the coach, any authority that the coach have by going to his superior,
right?
How does the coach lay a foundation to establish said culture? The thing that they know in New England, ain't nobody going to Bob Kraft, Mr. Kraft,
right,
and circumvent anything Coach Belichick. I had a great relationship with Mr. Bolin. Man, I wish I would have took my happy black ass upstairs and said, Mr. B, let me tell you what Mike talking about. He gonna look at me like, Sharpie, what you want me to do? Nothing. Don't tell him I came up here to your office to tell you. Let's start with that. Let's keep this between us. The thing is that when you have one voice, now that takes a lot. Well, where is this coming from? Who is this coming from? See, here's the thing, Ocho, the problem that they have in Cowboys. They know when Mike McCarthy stand in front of them, that's Jerry's talking. He's moving his mouth, but Jerry is, he's Geppetto.
McCarthy,
The difference is
that's him.
When Mike Shanahan stood up there and talked, That was Mike. But also he gave us the remember, nah, bro, we're not gonna do that. What's your weight? Okay. Bring your ass in, make weight. Hey, I'm their guy. Hey, go get on the bike. It ain't but 2 pounds. Go get on the bike for 10 minutes. Hey, you good. You're gonna be able to drop that, bro. Go get in the hot tub. Hey, yes, bro. That's our responsibility. Bro, clean up the come on, bro. How you hair the laundry basket right there. You gonna throw the towel on the floor, bro? Really? That's what you're gonna do. You can't get the towel right there by you. And you just leave the towel in front of your locker. You leave the towel. Bro, come on now. Bro, clean. Mike gave us the authority to police the locker room. We had established a culture that I had adopted from the older guys, from the Dennis Smith and the Steve Atwater and the Max and the John. Right. And hopefully that my job was to try to pass that on. That's what you got to have, Ocho. The guys that when you see Ray and the way you conduct yourself and he's watching the way Woody and how we do things, myself and Rod, hopefully he passed that along and the culture was established. And so now you get an Ed Reed and you got a Suggs and you got guys like that. That's what you play like a Raven. They're never going to have that because Jerry won't allow it. Jerry won't allow it. I mean, a lot of things transpire. Hold on. There are a lot of things that happen once I left. I mean, once I leave, Ocho, I just try to put the guys in the best situations I possibly could to be successful. But there's a lot of things going on, a lot of dealings that I wouldn't have tolerated. Yeah. I said, guys, we got to be professional and all that other stuff. This the kind of stuff that tear the fabric from a locker room. You know that's somebody's people, and then you trying to go behind their back and you trying to do no. That ain't how we do stuff right here. I don't go for that. And I'm just trying to figure out why you trying to do that. Why you mad at him about trying to see some girl and you married? How that look?
That's weird.
I'm confused. I'm like, bro. I'm talking just like I'm talking to you. I said, bro, let me ask you a question. How you mad at him? Talking about that's your girl.
That's real?
You married with 3 kids.
That's a good story.
Man, look here, bro. Ocho, let me tell you. I kept the peace. My job was not only to play, my job was to keep the peace and keep stuff like that.
And that ain't got nothing to do with football.
Tear a locker room apart. Ain't got nothing to do with football. We're going to keep football. Damn. That's what we going to do. Bro, your wife get wind of this right here because at the end of the day, he gonna get mad at you. You doing things to try to salt him up. He go tell your wife. Yeah. Now what? Now you gonna want to fight. Why you fighting a man that's single about seeing somebody you married and you trying to get at her? Come on, bro. It don't work like that. You get one. Mm-hmm. You get one. You get your wife. You get your main one. You can't take 3 or 4 off the shelf and put them in the back. You know, like Foot Locker, Ocho. You got a boy working there. Hey. Put a pair of shoes in the bag for me. No, you get one. You get to put one on the shelf and everybody stay away from. Other than that, it's fair game. It's fair game. So you not finna hide 4, 5 pair of shoes. We're selling them shoes, bro. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. Yes, sir. But see, that's the job of a leader is to keep the peace in the locker room because there are a lot of things that can eat at the fabric of a locker room that ain't got nothing to do with football. It ain't got nothing to do with money. Hey, we'll keep money out of this. Look, all that gambling, look, like Mike said, like rookies, we didn't really let a whole lot of rookies gamble because first of all, y'all ain't got that kind of money. And you're right. And we can't have Mike say, look, I can't have y'all out there. Y'all owe $20,000 and you thinking about that. Oh yeah. So look, no, come on, guys. But that culture thing is true. People don't realize it. People don't realize how valuable culture is in a locker room until you don't have that veteran leadership in there and you get guys running amok doing all kind of things. And then you're like, well, damn. I realized that Sharpe had more value. He was valuable, and I'm not talking about just on the field. Because what Mike didn't realize until I left, a lot of things that I snuffed out,
Right.
Never made it to him. He didn't know ish about it. But
Right.
that's what veterans do. That's what leaders do. You come together, you say, hey, bro, what's really going on? What's the problem? Okay, you got a problem at home? Okay, how can we help? What's going on? What does she think you're doing? Bro, you cannot go out and come in at 3, 4 in the morning. What homeboy you got? So what you telling her? You can't tell her I'm out. Hell, because I don't even go out with my own homeboys and come in at 3, 4 in the morning. I used to tell Bucket all the time. Nah, bro, you're not finna mess up my home. Hey, my homeboy in town, can y'all? Hey, yeah, Sharpe, man. Hey, come on, Bucket. You not finna mess up my home. Got me coming because you want to come in at 3, 4 in the morning. Oh, hell no. No, bro, you can't do that. I'm not gonna tell you you're a grown-ass man. But I'm not going to tell you what you can and I'm going to tell you what you shouldn't do. I can't tell you what you can't do because you're grown, but I'm going to tell you what you shouldn't do. And if you want peace, because at some point in time, Mike going to wonder why your play slipping, why you seem distracted, why you keep busting assignments, why you're not where you're supposed to be. And then eventually, hey, Mike Shanahan cut you. I ain't telling you like, oh, Mike will eat $5 million, $6 million. He will cut your ass. So I just want to know how you want to play this thing. Man, Sharpe, man, hey, I appreciate that. Bro, I appreciate you coming to me. But I can't keep Mike off your ass if you keep making these kind of mistakes because I can only lie so much.